What's up, guys? It's your boy TPP, and I'm back with that true crime talk. Baby, let's go. But before we get going, before we jump into this update I got for y'all, Murderous Mom's update, just like I promised you guys, Miss Pangalangan is done. We got the verdict. Trial's over. I got the news for you. We're gonna watch a video. We're gonna chat about it. Then also, we got a little update on the new one we dropped yesterday about old Miss Frank has 8 passengers. You know, the YouTube mom, the abusive one, the one, there's a special place, for. Yeah, we got some juice on that too, man. And you know what? I'm about to pull up this tab right now. And you know what? You guys were going to let me get into the juice without pandering. How could you? Oh, that's right. This ain't life, huh? I got to remind myself. Shit. You guys know the drill. Come on, man. Help your boy out. Help your boy out. Smash that like. You're already subscribed. Hit the share. Put it out there. Come on, guys. If you're new here, I promise. Just the first little part of the video is annoying pandering. The rest of it, I'm usually pretty good. It's usually pretty good content. You can ask the subscribers if you're here at the premiere. If you're not here at the premiere and you're a replay and you're catching this, look down in the chat or go look at the live chat. Like, trust, it's a good crew. Come join it. And then for the rest of y'all, you know who you are. You know who you are. You keep showing up to my channel, watching my content, and you don't subscribe. It's dirty, bruh. I wouldn't do that to anybody. I would never do. I don't do that to anybody, actually. Everything that I watch, I'm subscribed to. You want to know why? Because I have integrity and morals. You don't steal people's stuff. Man, don't you know how this YouTube stuff works? You watch some of these content, you subscribe to their channel. It's what you do, all right? It's not like I'm asking you to join members or anything yet. But come on, subscribe. All right, guys, the pandering's done. Let's get into it. All right, guys. All right. So we'll get this tab pulled up. I'll stop playing. The first video we're gonna watch is we're gonna watch the verdict reading of Miss Rita Pangalangan. I'm pretty sure that's how you say the name there. So, and with my favorite judge. So you guys know I had to get Judge Newman up in here, man. I love this guy. I do, man. I'm so glad that he covered this case. It's good to see him again. I missed him since the Murdoch trial. Anybody that watched that trial, tell me, guys, any of you that watched it, was it not an experience in your life that you'll remember? That trial was something else, man. It had like old school lawyer theatrics, all the Southern accents. It was like watching a damn movie, but like better than a movie. Like you couldn't have written it any better. It was something else. But anyways, I digress. Let's get into it.
I understand there's a verdict. You may bring the jury.
Okay, real quick, guys. I'm gonna pretend like none of you know the verdict. You're just catching this right now, and this is how you're learning about it. That being said, you think it's be guilty, innocent, or right? One of them guilty, one of them innocent. What do you think the jury said? And then also, how do you guys feel? Just straight up, how do you guys feel? Do you feel like they were guilty of this? I'm sure most of you guys remember my coverage of this, and there wasn't much more covered in the trial than what we learned in my video. So it was just, the theatrics of, the openings, the closings, and the crosses and whatnot. But just with what we heard, I felt like they were guilty. I'm not sure at what level they're going to get hit with, but I felt like they're going to be guilty. What are you guys' thoughts? Okay, that's enough time. You had enough time to think. Let's get this going. Oh, that's the only thing I don't like about trials. They're like agonizing to watch. They're so dang slow. It takes some serious patience to watch trials. I fish though, so kind of have that patience.
You'll stand for me.
All right, here we go.
Have you reached the verdict? Is it unanimous?
Wait up. Just gotta stop it real quick. Fair use, right? Before we get to juice, so we don't have to interrupt the juice. And we're good.
Okay, if you'll pass it to the clerk, you'll pass it to me, and you may be seated.
Okay, though, just to build the suspense a little bit more, do you have any sympathy that this happened while she was in the throes and struggles of a drug addiction? Does that soften your heart at all towards her? Does it give you any extra sympathy towards her, or no? For me, I'm a hard ass. That's a hard no. But I know not everybody's like me. Some people, they're a little bit more emotional. That's okay. That's okay.
Hey, if the defendants will rise, and Madam Clerk, if you will publish the verdicts.
Wait up, one more suspense builder. Come on, one more suspense builder. Yo, I hate that it takes this long for them to spit it out, man. And it makes it more challenging because the fair use thing, you have to stop it ever so often. And I don't want it to run that long and get flagged. YouTube's real serious about that lately, so I ain't trying to deal with any of that action. Okay, we good.
State of South Carolina versus Rita M. Pangalangan. Indictments number 2019 GS 15-00781, 2022 GS 15-00710, 2022 GS 15-00814. We, the jury, in the above caption, on the charge of murder of Christina Ann Pangalangan, find the defendant guilty. Oh my God! Oh my God! We, the jury, in the above captioned case, on the charge of great bodily injury of the child, we find the defendant guilty. We, the jury, in the above captioned case, on the charge of criminal conspiracy, find the defendant not guilty.
Okay, honestly, I agree with that. I completely agree with that. I agree with them being guilty on everything but conspiracy. After I sat there and really milled over the information and the details of it all, to me, it was two math addicts, all strung out on math, having a lover's quarrel. And I'm not excusing what they did at all. By any means, I'm not excusing what they did. It wasn't right. But I don't think it was actually a planned thing. I think it was just extreme neglect because of a drug-induced state. So it's not an excuse at all. It's just the reason it happened, in my opinion. I don't think she loved her kid the right way, right? And then when you're on those type of drugs, they don't allow you to love your family the right way. And it was just a bad combination of things. So in my opinion, I don't think it was like a planned thing. So I agree with that verdict. That was the right verdict. I definitely believe that was the right verdict. Y'all agree? Let me know down in the comments if you agree with that verdict. Let's continue. Let's hear what old boy gets.
And it's signed by the foreperson.
Yes.
Signed by
No, you don't need to call the name of the foreperson. Signed by.
Yo, they got some ruthless ass footage of her crying. I mean, look, so here's the thing too, is that emotion, I believe that emotion's real. I do. And I don't think it's like a poor pity me emotion. I think she's clean now. I think she's clean and sober. And I think now the reality of everything that she did and what she caused to happen to her daughter by doing that drug and putting that drug in a relationship over her daughter, like, I think that full reality is she's living in it now. So I believe that that emotion you're seeing right there is true emotion. I believe she is very regretful, but nonetheless, I stand by that verdict. That's a good verdict. It's clean.
The four-person, do not.
Signed by the foreperson.
Yes.
State of South Carolina versus Larry Eugene King. Indictments 2019 GS 15 00780. 2022 GS 15 00709. And 2022 GS 15 00813. We, the jury in the above caption case on the charge of murder.
Bam! Suspense builder, another one. Just messing with you guys. I have to do it. Fair use, you know what I mean? But for real, I do agree with what they gave her. I really do. I feel like her past, like her history, it just, I don't know, man. Maybe you'll have a different opinion. I don't think you take the drugs away, and I don't think these two people are what they were on the drugs. I think they're drastically different. I think they're probably pretty respectable people if you take the drug habit away. So I don't know. I think that's why I agree with that verdict. I don't think that it was a plan. I don't know. I could be wrong. Who knows? But here we go.
Pangalangan, find the defendant guilty. We, the jury in the above caption case on the charge of great bodily injury on a child, find the defendant guilty. We, the jury in the above caption case on the charge of criminal conspiracy, find the defendant not guilty. This is also signed by the foreperson.
Thank you.
Once again, I agree with that verdict as well. Man, I kind of saw this coming, but like I've said in previous videos, it's getting real hard for me to get optimistic about trial outcomes, about verdicts, because so many trials this year. I've watched full on the whole trial, seen all the evidence. I'm literally looking at it critically, right? Like you're supposed to, emotions out of the situation, the whole picture. And I'm like, dude, dead on. Like, this has got to be guilty or not guilty, whatever the case may be, right? And then it comes back the opposite of what I'm thinking. I'm just like, there's no way you come to that conclusion unless you're basing your decisions and whatnot off of emotions, which you're not supposed to do. Let's proceed.
Madam Forelady, and members of the jury, if that is your verdict, please let it be known by raising your right hands.
Okay, they're gonna pull the
Thank
jury.
you.
We know how this
Hands are
goes.
raised.
Let's see if we can speed this up.
Are you all, do you need time to prepare for sentencing?
I'm ready for the final meeting.
Pardon?
I'm prepared. My final meeting right prior to moving into the sentencing.
Okay, very good. And you all, well,
Understood.
I need to stay in the courtroom at this point, but certainly can confer. You want to transport people now? You banned him from the courtroom earlier. He's ready to. He's come back.
Just need to speak with you.
Okay, sure, absolutely. Take your time. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have no role in sentencing.
Let's skip
Totally.
forward.
Has been supported in court by his family. He's not one of those people like you see so many of in court general sessions who's burned every bridge, just drop no friends, no family, etc. I know how terrible this child died, and I felt like I conceded that to the jury at the outset. I also know to a large degree how Mr. King has lived his life up to that point and how he's lived it since. And although he is convicted of murder, I will submit to the court that overall evidence, the total picture that you should have of Mr. King at this point is just not of an evil man. As you heard from the witness stand, he did go subsequent to this instance, moved into a halfway house or a treatment facility.
All right, guys, the lawyers are just going to argue for the on behalf of the defendants for sentencing and all that to try to sway the judge for leniency in the sentencing. We all know how this goes. I ain't gonna bore y'all with that. Damn. All right, guys, there we go. That's the update. It's over. I ain't gonna lie. I told you guys in the video when we first covered this case that I wasn't gonna watch the trial, right? I ended up watching the trial. Okay, I didn't report on it every day because I feel like it was easy to kind of watch it, and then just not think about the context of the story I was going to tell, retelling it to you guys. And I think that just skimming over it, reporting on it the first day of the trial and reporting about the case and then waiting till the end, I think that's going to be the way to go with some of these trials. I really am. Some of them I'll do the everyday breakdowns, but I don't know. I prefer doing it the way I just did it with Rita Pangalangan's trial. But anyways, guys, yeah. What do you guys think about the verdict? Do you guys agree with it? I think it was pretty fair, pretty good verdict. I don't think they should have got the conspiracy part. So, yeah. That being said, let's move on to the next one. Okay. This next one, man. This one's a new one, right? So we just get information, live action, as it rolls. It's a new case it's building, man. It's I don't know. I feel like it's gonna get really bad once we find out all the details. So, but anyways, let's jump into it. I'll shut up. And yes, right. I said this one is Ruby Frank, 8 passengers. We covered it the other day. But I got a feeling this is going to be one of the ones that catches spotlight because it's a blonde white woman YouTuber. So she kind of got like that semi-celebrity thing going on. So we're probably going to see this one get plenty of coverage. So I probably won't cover it like everybody else is in depth. We'll just lightly sprinkle it into the Murderous mom updates. Yeah, that's probably what we'll do. But there's too many cases for us just to concentrate on one. One constantly in depth all the time. I don't do that. I just can't do it. I can't. Side note on sidebar, I like Jesse Weber and I like Phil Waters. They're both legit. Both legit. I like Jesse. He's one of the few talking heads on these these bigger channels. He's decent. I've rarely disagreed with him on his views and stuff. He's usually pretty on point. Whereas I can't say that about most other people that you're going to see on these big networks. Some of them, I don't even know how they got their job. Like, I'd say like a good 60% of YouTube creators would do a better job. And then Phil Waters, you're going to hear him talk. That dude he's smart. I watch him on many podcasts, break things down, and he's a guy to listen to, and you see him on a panel. I digress. 4-wheel drive, baby. Yo! This is the second video I've done this. Second video, I've started a damn video out with you guys, sitting there talking about it. I'm sitting there chirping away like you guys are seeing and hear what I'm seeing, and you're not. So anyways, what I was saying about those two gentlemen, you're about to see the two gentlemen, and then we'll jump into it. My lord. Hey, man, it's Friday. You guys, give me a break. Give me a break. Hey, you know, and most people cut out their bloopers. I just leave them in. You know what I mean? Why hide it? Just keep it. Let's keep it 100. So let's go.
I won't trust myself, and you should not trust me either, because I don't have any problem lying to you. I don't have any problem dropping responsibility, which is also deception.
A popular parenting YouTuber and mom of 6 is arrested for child abuse alongside her business partner. Renowned former homicide detective Phil Waters comes on to analyze this disturbing case. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
Out of all the YouTubers to catch a child abuse case, it's a parenting YouTuber. Like I said over and over again, you can't make this up, and real life is stranger than fiction. It is. I'm telling you guys. Let's go. Let's go.
I got to talk to you right now about this story that is just absolutely shocking to hear. Have you ever heard of Ruby Franke? You might have, because she and her husband launched this YouTube channel called 8 Passengers back in 2015. And it was all about the couple and their 6 children, very popular. I think it had over 2 million subscribers. It focused on parenting and homeschooling. It was interesting because Frank and her husband are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Seems all well and good, right? Like wholesome values. Well, it turns out that Frank and her business partner, Jody Hildebrandt, who founded a life counseling organization known as Connexions, previously known as Moms of Truth, the two of them have been arrested out in Utah. And for what of all things?
So Bespoke Post, they just send you a cool box every month.
Damn commercials.
The value of everybody.
Child abuse. That's right.
Okay, dude. Why is it always got to be the religious homeschoolers doing some crazy stuff, man? I don't understand, because that's the thing is like, that's how I would have preferred my children to have gone through school as homeschool. Like, I'm for homeschooling. I'm not super like hardcore religious, but I'm very I'm a faithful man. I'm a man of faith for sure. But so I'm not throwing any shade on any of those two things. But why is it always gotta be that combination? Why? It's a bad look for us all that are into that stuff. Four-wheel drive.
Police received a call at almost 11 o'clock at night on August 30th, someone asking for help. And when police arrived on the location, they found a 12-year-old girl malnourished, emaciated, with open wounds and duct tape around the extremities. Frank and Hildebrandt, they were arrested on 2 counts of aggravated child abuse because it seems that police were led to another location where they found a second child, a 10-year-old girl believed to be the sister of the 12-year-old. And she also was in similar conditions. The children were taken to a hospital.
I don't like the way this is starting to sound. We're starting to hear more details now, because before it didn't break it down to where the 2 girls were in separate places. It made it sound like one girl got out, escaped, and then police ended up showing back up where she was at, where her sister was. Now, from what I just took from that, it's saying the kids were in 2 different locations. I don't like the way this is sounding. This don't sound good. I pray that I'm wrong, but this sounds like more than just abuse. Horrible, guys. Horrible.
NBC News reporting that 4 minors were then taken in by the Division of Child and Family Services. And for anyone that has been following the work of Frank and her husband, they have received criticism for their style of parenting. People had accused them and suspected them of abuse and exploitation in the past based on what they saw in their content. In fact, it's been reported that some of those videos have now been deleted. And to give you an example, Child Protective Services was called back in June of 2020 to check in on the family. This was prompted by a change.org petition. That's what the reporting indicates. And it came about after there was a video of one of the couple's children recounting how he was forced to sleep on a beanbag for months as a form of punishment by his parents.
All right, check this out too. Check this out. A lot of people would probably take this opportunity to get controversial, right? Get divisive and bring up points like, if this was a person of different ethnicity, then they would have looked into it more. And I don't think that's the case. What I think this is more of a class thing. I feel like when upper class people are being reported on for this type of behavior, it's not taken as serious as if, somebody that's lower middle class or the lower classes in society financially. I feel like when they get called on, it gets taken like more serious. They get treated more harshly. That could just be me, but that's what it feels like. You know what I mean? Because it seems like these people that are a little bit more well off, they'll have to get called on so many times before something happens. If anything happens at all, to stop bad things from happening to the kids. Whereas it's like a poor family, so they can get 1 or 2 calls and that's it, man. Let's snatch your kids up. Go. Just my opinion, though. That's how I feel about it. Roll drive.
The reporting indicates that nothing came from this visit by Child Protective Services. There may not have been enough evidence to go forward. But going back to Hildebrand for a moment, so she's accused of promoting very harsh forms of punishment through Connexions, this counseling services, such as her and Frank discussing how if a child refuses to follow, quote, principles of truth, they can be cut out of a family. And here's another aspect.
The fuck? Yeah, this is child abuse. They're literally developing a system, a school, like a system of child abuse. What the This case is bad, y'all. This is going to get a lot of attention. This is bad. This is bad. They were... Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Let's proceed.
Of the story. So Shari Frank, the oldest of the Frank children, seems to have posted on Instagram, quote, "Me and my family are so glad justice is being served. We've been trying to tell the police and CPS for years about this and so glad they finally decided to step up." She further wrote, "The kids are safe, but there's a long road ahead. Please keep them in your prayers and also respect their privacy."
See that? What did I just say? Boom, straight out of the mouth of family. For years, they've been trying to get help about this. For years, people have been trying to call, been trying to say something. And nothing. Because they're wealthy, influential people in that upper class. So it wasn't taken serious. They put on that facade. Can't stand people like that, man.
In fact, Ruby Frank's sister also had something to say, posted a video as well.
The only thing that we ultimately care about is that our nieces and nephews are safe, and they are. And that is the only thing that matters to any of us. It is going to feel weird for me to move forward. And I think, do I just move forward?
Pretty incredible right there. And
yo, come on. Let's keep it 100, guys. Let's keep it 100. How many of you all are beating the brakes off your sibling if they get caught doing this? If you get a chance, you know what I mean? With no cameras around or, no evidence. You know what I'm saying? How many of y'all? Come on, man. Seriously. I found that out about one of my siblings. Yeah, family get-togethers ain't never going to be the same. That's for damn sure.
Frank and Hildebrand, they were transported to and booked into the Washington County Jail. They're both currently being held without bond.
Meet your next pillow. Why do we make our pillow in the shape of a cube?
I hate commercials.
I'll tell you.
Talk a little bit.
One day, when I'm YouTube balling, I'm going to buy YouTube Premium. I'm no more commercials. I'm going to stop being cheap.
more about this, let me bring in a fan favorite here on Sidebar. We haven't seen him in a while. Phil Waters. Waters is a former legendary homicide detective who's worked over 400 cases.
I'm telling you, Phil Waters is legit, man. This dude is awesome.
He is an expert interrogator and just an overall great guy to talk to. Phil, good to see you. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Oh, thank you, Jesse. It's good to be back with you. It's been a while.
It has. This is a horrifying story. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Oh, yeah. This is not.
Yeah, yes.
There's nothing new and different about this. It's just it's kind of a new wave on an old beach, right? And there's a million stories in the big city, and here's just another one about some atrocious child abuse.
But I guess there was breadcrumbs. If people were looking at the videos and seeing that the parents were punishing the children too harshly or engaging in these kind of wild teaching and parenting methods, something didn't smell right. Are you surprised that, you heard the daughter say this, that it almost seemed like it took too long?
Real quick, let me interject something real quick. You would not be able to get away with that crap over here in the true crime genre, baby. You know what I'm saying? You would not be able to get away with any of that nonsense over here. The moment you start acting a fool or slipping up on video, dude, there is so many people out here waiting to clip you. You that's it. You done. It ain't happening out here. There's no way. There's no way. But what baffles me is how they let it slip in the parenting community for that long without finding a way to actually get some serious attention on the situation. Oh, crazy, man.
Well, these things don't happen in a vacuum, and they appear over time. And I'm sure when this particular incident started, it didn't start out this way. This is one of these things that proliferates over time as the abuse starts to accelerate. So it starts out with the little things, and then eventually it starts growing into these weird manifestations of chaining him to a bed or something like that. So not terribly unusual under the circumstances of a kind of a classic child abuse situation within a family. That this ostracization of the family members. We hear a lot of these stories regarding people that are Mormons, where there's a break with children in the philosophy of that particular church, and they are ostracized.
Yo, this is starting to give me Daybell vibes. Starting to give me some Daybell vibes. You know what I mean? With right? How about you guys? You starting to get a little bit of Daybell vibes off this lady? For real.
I mean, I think we've heard stories like from the Osmonds, that kind of a situation. So, it's just it's a cultural thing, but in terms of
I do want to be careful because I'm not going to group all people that believe in a certain faith as not at all. It seems to me if you hear about,
and that's why I like Jesse. That's why I like Jesse Weber right there. That dude is smart. He's a smart cat, for real. I think that I don't think he gets enough respect. Not enough dues are paid to that gentleman. Out of like I said, out of all the talking heads on the big channels, that dude is on point. Like I'd say I really honestly thinking of it, I can't remember a time where I disagreed with one of his takes. I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. Same, bro. Same. 4-wheel drive.
What the children, how they were found, this condition of being essentially starved and taped up and tied up, it seems consistent with the narrative that's been online about these people.
Well, yeah. So again, I mean, you've got to start at the beginning, right? And so this doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
This is something that happens over time, and there are signs that people will see, but it's almost like the people that are close to them that see these things, they're not believing what they're seeing.
Right.
It's kind of like, am I really seeing something here that indicates there's a bigger picture here?
I want to ask you about this. So investigators, they obtained a
Yo, why they gotta show her face like that? I want to see her face. Ugh.
search warrant for the home. And during that search, the police said that they recovered evidence, quote, consistent with the markings found on the juvenile. What does that mean?
Well, depending on the type of markings, I would say that they found the instrument with which those markings were applied.
What he means instrument is probably either the instruments used to bind those children or the instruments used to beat those children. Oh, man. Can only hope somebody gets a hold of her and lock up, you know what I mean? Can only hope. Some freaking just rough ass biker shit gets a hold of her. I mean, we could, hey, wishful thinking, right? Nothing wrong with that.
And whatever it was that they were disciplining them with, striking them with, they were consistent with the instrument that they found in the house.
And I want to ask you about this. So Law and Crime is reporting that police said that 2 days prior to her arrest, Frank had posted a video to YouTube that was filmed in Hildebrandt's basement while Hildebrandt was home. So it means essentially, right, that Hildebrandt, maybe Frank, they were aware of the conditions under which these children were living. They can't, it's going to be hard for them to say, we didn't know what was going on.
Oh, no. I mean, there's no way to.
What? How many you ladies in chat or in the replay, how many of you ladies are going to stand around and watch your quote unquote best your business partner? Business partners, they had to be good friends. That's how female relationships usually roll. Are you just going to stand by and allow your friend to do that? Like, what are you ladies going to do? Damn. That shit's crazy, man. Poor babies.
I think what I am in the article that I read, I didn't see where the husband or the father was charged.
Can't stand this.
I didn't see that either. Right.
Yeah, these cases, I find it a little odd, and maybe they're coming later. But in cases like this, in fact, I'm working a case right now for a client. For a defense attorney, and it involves the death of a child, and there's some indication of abuse there, but this may have been an accident, and the mother involved in it has not yet been charged, but they've been considering charges of child abuse by omission. So I'm a little curious in this case that we have the same set of circumstances where he had to be aware of what was going on.
Damn it, commercial. Oi.
And
yo, he had to have known. How the hell do you not know that's happening to your children? How? How do you not know that's happening to the children in your household? How? Let me answer that for you. You know. You know. He knows. He knew. Screw that guy. That dude need to be locked up with her too. Matter of fact, both the females, that dude locked up. Let's just throw away the key and forget about it, right? Take those children, leave those children with that good family, you know what I mean? With that sister, you know, the auntie that looked like she wanted to beat the brakes off her sister. Yeah, let's just do that. Sounds good. Plan. Save the trial, save the money. Works for me. Right, guys? Lock them up, throw it away. Sounds good. Bye.
Why did he not stop what was happening? And therefore, there may be some charges coming later that charging him with child abuse by omission.
I'm going to say this, and I hope I don't offend anybody out there, right? And I'm going to put judgment on this man as a man. Okay? So hopefully I don't offend anybody out there. I know mostly ladies watch my stuff, but hopefully this doesn't offend you. But that's not a man. That's not a man. Okay? A traditional, God-fearing, masculine man is not going to allow that bullshit to happen in his household. It's just not going to happen. It's not. What this man probably is probably one of them limp-wristed, you know what I mean? You know the types. Just all super simpy for his wife and probably buckles and bends to her every whim. and does what she says. That's probably what this thing is. I don't even want to call him a guy. Apologize. Like I said, hope I didn't offend nobody. Apologize, but that's from coming from a guy. That's what I feel about that. Y'all ladies are always judging ladies harshly. I could do the same, all right? You know what I mean? It's only fair. God. I'm sure most of you ladies agree with me anyways.
Mission.
Do you think investigators are trying to interview these two suspects right now, these two women?
Oh, I would think they have, or at least offered them the opportunity to interview. You always want to interview someone, always. And
I don't like the way her friend's face looks. I'm sorry, all right? I'm sorry. I just don't like her friend's face. I don't like her face either. But there's something about her face, and her friend's face when she's talking. And maybe it's just because I know what they did, but there's something about it. It just bothers me.
I would imagine that's happened, and it would be interesting to see the interviews and see what comes out of those interviews.
Do you think they're also combing through all of the old videos that they posted on these two different channels? Would that be helpful evidence in trying to determine what happened here?
Well, I think so.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
You want to look at any type of evidence, potential evidence, something that may be probative. So I would think you never know what's on.
Yo, they're combing back through every video. They're trying to get any report that was posted to YouTube or any other platform that those people are on. Guarantee that they are doing the legwork. I bet this is going to be too big of a case. It's going to be too many eyes on it. They're going to have to nail this one. So I bet that they're going back and looking through all that digital evidence. Trust.
On these videos, you never know what's in the background. I mean, the whatever was used to create these marks to punish these kids, you may find it hanging behind them on a wall somewhere. So it's those are always interesting. If a picture's worth 1,000 words, a video's worth 1,000,000. So yeah, you're going to be looking at anything that may be probative in terms of evidence.
I know this is sensitive, but what do you think is happening in terms of interviewing the children? Do you think investigators are trying to speak to the children, and is now the time to do it after all of this has happened, after they just went to the hospital? What do you think is going on behind the scenes in terms of getting information from these young children and these?
That's touchy, man. That's touchy, but it has to be done. They have to figure that stuff out. If they're going to have a chance at hitting her with everything, they got to find out what those babies know. I feel so bad for them, but it has to be done. It has to be.
These alleged victims.
Well, they're going to be interviewed. And, in Houston, we have a child assessment center that's where they would go. And there's going to be trained personnel that will interview those children. So that's going to happen. And I would imagine that the circumstances would be the same in Utah. So those children will be, they are the complainants. They're the victims. Yep. They're the ones that their voices are going to be heard now. And they will interview those kids and evaluate what they're being told by the children and see if they're consistent with what they're finding in the physical and forensic evidence. So sure. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's always unique when these kinds of cases, when you have children who are the victims, because it's a situation where you are in the care and the custody of the parent. And it becomes very hard for the parents who are accused or the guardians who are accused of abusing the children to defend yourself, because anything that happens to these kids is essentially your responsibility. And so if they're not being fed, that's your responsibility. If they have these markings on them, it's very hard to say that you didn't do it or you weren't a part of it. Now, again, this is our criminal justice system. There is a case that's going to be going forward. We'll see how it ultimately progresses. But just from an optics point of view, it doesn't look great.
Hell no, it don't look great. This ain't a child is just being dramatic, telling a story. No, this shit is real. Like, she really did these things. There's really evidence that these children were starved and abused. Yeah, she's done it. She better be done. I swear she better be done.
And you know, I'm looking at this and trying to understand how it happened. Do you believe that potentially, if they get more information from the children themselves, even the ones who were recovered and taken to the Department of Children's Services, that maybe more charges could come forward against these two women about prior instances of abuse?
Oh, certainly. This could open that. The potential here is that just a whole can of worms gets opened up here, and we find out there are more instances of abuse with other children. I don't know what the scope of if she was just an advisor, a counselor. She's got this website.
Yeah, both these ladies are about to have their whole background and history absolutely just plowed through. Everything's gonna be turned up. Everything. Oh, I hope they convict the shit out of these ladies. Apologize.
So the show about how to parent children. So I don't know what the scope of that is. If there were parents that let her take control of their kids in some sort of counseling sessions and something of that nature. And
you know, every parent of a child that had anything to do with these ladies, bet they're either talking to their kids or have their kids in counseling right now. Bet money on that.
And we know how these things go. If you get somebody that is charismatic and can express themselves well and what their intentions are and convince other parents, I'm not saying that it happened.
Remember that in life in general, guys, especially when you're on these YouTube streets. If you have enough charisma and energy and character, you could literally sell people horse straight up. Like you can. It's been proven throughout history, time and time again. Beware of that. Because there's a lot of, people selling you guys horse out here in this true crime community. That's all I'm saying. I ain't gonna say no names, but you guys know. I'm telling the truth. Foil drive.
Here, but I've seen it where other parents are convinced that what this advisor is telling them is what needs to happen. So they're not necessarily complicit in what's happening in an intentional way, but they are allowing it to happen by omission because they're convinced that this person is giving them correct counsel. So that'll be interesting to see if we have other children that are not her family.
Yeah.
That the same types of things have been happening with.
Well, let's see where it goes. We're going to continue to follow this case. It is a disturbing one. Phil Waters, thanks so much for coming on and breaking down a little bit about what we know so far. Appreciate it, sir, and great seeing you.
Yeah, guys, if you come across any videos like from any of these bigger news, stations, and you see Phil Waters up, dude, I'm telling you, watch that video because whatever that case is, or if you're interested in what they're talking about, jump in it because if he's breaking something down that you're into, it's usually going to be a pretty good breakdown. Dude is smart. He knows his stuff.
All right. Thank you, Jesse. Aloha.
Yeah.
And that's all we have for you here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts.
All right, guys. That's it. Yeah. Oh, God. Where do we go, guys? What do you guys think on that one? What do you guys think about this lady? This YouTuber. She's a YouTuber. She's one of us. Straight up YouTuber in the parenting genre of YouTube, and she over there doing that to her babies. There's some sick people out here in these YouTube streets, guys. There's some sick people out here in these YouTube streets with really bad backgrounds peddling some absolute nonsense in there. There's a lot of them in all the different genres. So I implore you, don't just follow this case, but learn from this case. I'm telling you right now, learn from this case. Think about how many people got duped, both from her channel and her class, by her charisma and the fact that she makes videos on YouTube. Think about that. Beware of these YouTube streets. There's a lot of bad people out here. It's just like the world. It's a mirror image of the world. I know a lot of people they want to claim, oh, it's the internet. It's social media. It's not real. No, it's pretty damn real. It's pretty damn real. Honestly, I'm gonna have to say it's pretty damn real. Ask the YouTuber. Oh, that's right. You can't ask her because she's been unalived by a stalker. Pretty sure it's pretty damn real. If you can have influence that causes somebody to come and have a physical contact with you, it's pretty damn real. So just heed the warning, guys. Let's learn a little something from this case as far as how dog crap can be dressed up real pretty. You know what I mean? But yeah, guys, what do you guys think about this? What else do you guys think we're going to learn about the level of the abuse? Do you think there's other things going on with this? I don't know. It's kind of scary. Do you think there's going to be other accusations from other parents coming out of abuse? I think so. I honestly think this case is going to get wild. I really do. And I'll retract my previous statements on it just being because it's some blonde white lady that's influential. I think the level of heinousness, deception, just the whole everything that's going into this so far and what's coming out, I think this is going to be a big case, a big one. So watch everybody milk the hell out of it now that we covered it. So anyways, guys, I don't got nothing else for you. That's it. Just those two clips. Caught up, little update. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you were entertained and educated. And hopefully I didn't piss nobody off. I think I pissed somebody off last night at some point. One of my videos yesterday, I think I pissed somebody off because I think I was like 667 subs yesterday. Then when I woke up this morning, it was back down to 664. So I don't know if I said something, pissed somebody off. But if I did, apologize. Not really. It's my channel. I get to say what I want. And I only want people here that are not necessarily agree with me, but are grown up enough to hear opposing opinions and still kick it and be friends. That's the people I want. You don't have to even agree with me. But as long as you're an adult and we can have a great conversation and still be cool and still show love, that's the people I want over here. No doubt. But yeah, guys, that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up. Man, I hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday night. I don't think I'm gonna shoot another video. I'm hoping that one of y'all are going live after you watch my premiere, obviously. Yeah, guys, I don't know what else to say, man. That's it. That's all I got. Much love, y'all. It's your boy, the Piscine Predator, aka TPP, baby. Till next video. Much love, y'all. I'm out. Peace.